Following the 2019 MLB season, I can conclude that Cody Bellinger is officially an MLB great. I said it straight up. I'm gonna get into it in a back. I'm gonna get into it in a second. It is July 10th, 2020. Here in this quarantine, I'm James Sims, and for this segment of the Elite, I just kind of want to go in because I really appreciate Cody Bellinger as an individual talent, as a baseball player, and I think this dude's career is gonna be insane. It already is. I'm really impressed with what he's done. So, if you don't know Bellinger, if you don't know Cody Bellinger, he's a 24-year-old, probably outfielder, first baseman. I don't know what the Dodgers are gonna do with him this year, but he's a left-handed hitter. He's pretty tall. He hits baseballs a mile. So basically, he was drafted by the Dodgers in 2013 out of high school in the fourth round. He could have gone to Oregon, but he chose to play for the Dodgers, which I always think is a smart move. He eventually got called up in 2017. I think that was when he officially got called up. He got called for the beginning of the season, and he was a 21-year-old rookie, which I always say is really impressive considering like he could have been in college, he could have been in the minors by then. In 132 games, he finished the season with 128 hits. He had 39 home runs, 97 RBIs. He had a 267 batting average, but I mean he still had a 30.52 OBP. He finished with an All-Star appearance. He was ninth in MVP voting, and he was the Rookie of the Year that year. He was the runaway Rookie of the Year. Cody Bellinger he took that one away. That year was definitely his year. He even hit for the cycle that year. Like that's when he cemented himself as just like a good up and coming player that is definitely going to be a problem for pitchers in the National League. But he was able to establish himself as that sort of player his first year in the league. And I believe that year was the year they beat the Diamondbacks in the NLDS. They beat the Cubs in the NLCS, and they lost to the Astros. They lost to the Astros in 7 in the World Series. But that was Cody Bellinger's first season. Like, he took the Dodgers to the World Series, or he was a big part of them getting there. They eventually lost, but Cody Bellinger still was the Rookie of the Year. Like that's how good he was his rookie year. And a lot of players fall off in their second year. I mean, he wasn't that great. I mean, like his second year, he played 162 games. Like he played the full season. Iron Man. He had 145 hits on the season, less hits than games played, but I mean, that's still really good. He had 25 home runs, 76 RBIs. But of course, that was his sophomore slump, which is a very good sophomore slump for someone to have for them to play 162 games. If you're gonna do it, do it. And in 2018, the Dodgers finished up with the best record in the NL West again. They beat the Braves in the NLDS. They beat the Brewers in the NLCS, and they lost to the Red Sox in 5 in the 2018 World Series. So that was that year, and then last year was the year that Cody Bellinger was an MVP. This was the second year as an All-Star. He was named the first. He was the National League MVP. He won a Gold Glove. He won a Silver Slugger. In his age 23 season, he led the league in total bases, where he played 156 games. He finished with 170 hits, 47 home runs, 115 RBIs, 305 batting average for the season. So it's like he's still able to bat over 300 and still slug for those numbers. He won an MVP in the National League at 23 in his second year in the league. I think that's enough to warrant. No, that's enough to give him all time. He's definitely an all timer. Like at least in this era, when people look back on this era, they're gonna remember Cody Bellinger, especially for this season. Even though Christian Yelich had it until the injury, Cody Bellinger still finished out the season, and the Dodgers still finished with the best record in the National League, but they still ended up losing to the Nationals in the first round. But Cody Bellinger was the MVP that year. That was a great year, and yeah, like. Cody Bellinger is going to get his number retired in LA. I doubt there's there's no way in the world Cody Bellinger leaves LA. They're going to pay him the big bucks when his contract day comes up. I don't know if the Dodgers are this is probably their last chance of winning with Cody Bellinger this is probably their best chance of winning with Cody Bellinger on the roster. I don't believe that much in their young core as much as I do in like the players that they have now. I like Mookie Betts. I don't think Mookie's gonna sign, but I like what the Dodgers are doing, and I like how they're centering around Belly. I definitely disrespected Belly a lot in the past, especially with his sophomore slump. But then I realized, everyone has their sophomore slumps. I was wrong in saying that he wasn't going to be elite. Cody Bellinger is most definitely an elite baseball player who you could say is a top 5 baseball player right now, including pitchers. You can even say is the top baseball player. I wouldn't even argue with you on that one because like that's a valid he has a valid argument for the best player in baseball. And no, if you think he is, you do. He's an elite young player who's only 24, who has the rest of his career ahead of him. You know how long baseball careers last. This dude's prime might stretch through the entire 20s. I think Acuna is going to be a better player, but I think Belly's going to be up there with him. He's going to hit a lot of home runs in this upcoming decade. And as a baseball fan, especially as a Dodger fan, no, I imagine that most people love watching him play. Does a lot of things the right way. Like, he's a selfless baseball player, tries to puts the team first. He's not crazy. He's not consistent. He's like, I feel like if it was more consistent, he'd be the best. I mean, he's kind of up and down, but he's still an amazing baseball player on offense and defense. He was able to earn the Silver Slugger and the Gold Glove in the National League with a lot of good defensive outfielders, a lot of good hitters, a lot of players in the National League that are older than he is that are considered elite. Like, he stepped up to the plate and won, pun intended. He stepped up to the plate and won the National League MVP. And for me, I mean, he's earned my respect. Like, his career could fall off, and I'm still gonna remember Cody Bellinger for how good his first 3 careers for how good his first 3 years of his career were. I don't think he will fall off. I think he's gonna have a long, legendary career, and I'll be pretty happy to see. I'll be very happy to see his jersey retired in LA next to Kershaw's and probably Walker Buehler's. He's the bright spot on this Dodger team. I think he's very elite, and we'll see what the Dodgers farm system puts around him. But I like Bellinger. He's a very, very good player, and I appreciate you for listening to what I have to say because he's a good player. Just watch him this season. He'll have more to talk about. There'll be more to talk about him as his career progresses. But that's as far as he's gotten. He's only 24. But with that, I appreciate you for listening. And with that, I'm going to sign off by saying peace.